Welcome into another edition of the Bearcat Review. I'm Wade Smith alongside head coach Oscar Glasscock. Coming off another Bearcat victory last week, Cullman gets the win over Decatur 21-10. Coach, tell us a little bit about last week.
Well, it was significant because it was the next game. We'd had a disappointing performance the week before, a lot of adversity with, Coach Hopper's heart attack, and I thought we came back and sort of got the train back on the track, and it was good to get that 600th win in program history, which was, I think, is really significant, and particularly against a tradition-rich program like Decatur. That's when you beat Decatur, no matter what the circumstance, I think that a lot of people pay attention around here that have kept up with high school football in North Alabama over the years, and the biggest thing I was proud of was I thought the kids enjoyed playing, and they played hard, and they celebrated their teammates' success more than their own, and played with a lot of class and sportsmanship, and I thought it was just a good night all around, and everything in the game wasn't smooth. Had a few mistakes, especially before halftime, and I thought our kids handled it well instead of being really just focused on what Decatur was doing. They focused on the job they had to do, and we were able to do enough to win the game and hold on to the lead we had at halftime. And, man, I couldn't be more proud of these guys. And, again, just the chance to, we've now played 7 games this season. And, that's a blessing in itself because, man, talked to a lot of coaches. There's guys that have only played 3 actual games because of the COVID and the shutdowns and the forfeits and things like that. And so, we've been very fortunate to have as little impact from that as possible, really.
Moved to 6-1 on the season, another region victory, and you talked about being the 600th victory in school program history, but also not a lot of success for Cullman against Decatur in consecutive years in past years as well.
I think it'd been, again, we reference the Woodard era a lot on the show, but it's probably since that era that Cullman's beat Decatur two times in a row, not necessarily 2 consecutive years in a row, but and Cullman and Decatur haven't played as frequently. There was a stretch during I'd say the 80s and 90s especially, into the early 2000s where, Cullman and Decatur rarely played. So there's, that factors in a little bit. But, Decatur, you think about all the great players, Gerard Powers, Rolando McLean, and those folks that have come through there. Just when you think about really good high school football in North Alabama, Decatur's one of the first schools you think of. And, Coach Adcock's been there a long time, he's a friend of mine, and, really trying to do a lot of things program-wise here that he's been doing for years and years and years at Decatur, and they do it the right way. And, they don't quite have as much talent as they used to, but, they're a team that has steadily improved over the course of the year, and they're going to win some games before this year's out. And it's still a big thing, big thrill to beat a quality program like that.
Well, let's take a look at it. We'll go to the first quarter of action now. Cullman on the road at Decatur, able to get the victory, 21-10. First quarter of action as we see now.
Yeah, it's just a great thing to be playing into the month of October. I mean, it's just, it's kind of the month you think about with football, and it was a little cooler, felt like fall weather, and had a nice crowd coming up there. And again, Decatur's a team that's been improving steadily over the course of the year. They haven't had quite as much talent there as they've been accustomed to. But I tell you, their defensive line, they had some kids up there, 51, and those guys, they got after it. And, we had to earn everything. Starting Jalen Huey on defense, Noah Keys really had a fine year, and he's the fullback. Really, really proud of him. Felt like our offensive line played well coming out. I felt like we had a great start to the game, and that's one thing this bunch has done is they've come out ready to play most every week. And, I think that's a tribute to our coaching staff and just how we design practice. And like I said, we give our defense a lot of really fast and efficient looks. Very early in practice, and I think that it impacts how we play early in games. So we'll go 3 and out on the first series, but our defense answers the bell right here. I felt like we dominated them up front, along the D-line. It's just, defensive line has really played well all year. I mean, starting with Josh Miranda in the middle, and he was our captain for the game, and man, he's just a blue-collar guy that work every day, and I never remember him missing a day since I've been here. Cody Lynn's having a great senior year, and he's a playmaker, defensive end, and Caleb Bates has really provided. He's worked hard. He was, I think, a safety last year. We moved him down. He's really made an impact on the defensive line. Evan Dye's a sophomore, who's just a really strong, tough kid, but really, really intelligent. And, Jay Knopp and Lane Parker, we really feel good. We play a lot of guys on the defensive line, and it really helps out. Max does a great job getting this ball off in the air, and we got an interference call, and he gave us a chance to draw a penalty there when they pretty much had to, trying to catch up. Jeb Bartle's kind of a sneaky type athlete. I mean, he's a little faster, a little more athletic than people give him credit for, and he's made some big catches this year. Had some issues early with some of the snap count stuff, just because Decatur wasn't doing anything illegal. They were calling Liz or Rip or Lou or Rob based on our motion, and that's legal and within the rules. And our guys kind of were jumping on their sounds, but they adjusted nicely. I mean, I think it was one of those things. It's just like 2020, kind of a lot of different things you're having to adjust to and be ready for. And that's one of the things is that we're able to handle maybe situations like that better, because there's been, we have to constantly adjust our schedule and things like that, and it kind of helps us in the games make adjustments or get used to adversity. Got a roughing the punter call on them. That's one thing Decatur's always, and Coach Adcock's always known for, really great special teams play. Great throw and catch here. Again, Isaiah's getting healthier and healthier. We're so proud of our ability to throw the ball this year, off of play action, and here we go on a little Sally reverse, execute it to perfection, and Jake Doolin can get in that end zone. If people have noticed, we hadn't had to run so many quarterback sneaks this year to get points. Our running backs and things like that are finishing drives themselves. And again, I think that's a tribute to how hard Jake and these guys work in the weight room. But really nice call on Coach Saint's part. And, we hadn't ran the Sally reverse as much this year. It's a double handoff reverse. And we're pulling some linemen, and it's a great play. And, it's really interesting how each year's a little bit different. Bingo right there. What a hit right there. That was Sam Brand, Cole Herforth. I mean, we have starters and defensive guys primarily on those special teams, and by and large, we've had a great year on special teams. We had, it's like everything else. You have a breakdown here or there, and it seems to be magnified more when it's on special teams. See Jalen Huey running the kid down from behind, is showing some of the ability he's got, and just super proud of Griffin Barksdale and Drew Ball, playing those linebacker spots, and we can move Jalen around some, and again, we're off to a really fast start on defense, and just gives us a lot of confidence, and sometimes we'll get a little conservative on offense just to, because we really feel it's hard for people to move the ball consistently against our defense, and we kind of want to protect them, run the clock, keep the other team's offense off the field, and win games, like I say, kind of the old-fashioned way. So we really preach value in the football and protecting the football this week, and I thought our kids did a great job doing that. A little lead play Coach Gleaton's helped put in this year, and in our flex bone set, and we're, as you see right here, we're running fullback wedge, doing a lot of option looks and running more and more triple option. You didn't have play action pass. Max does a good job getting rid of the ball. What a fantastic catch by Jake Doolin. I mean, that's as good as it gets in high school. He just shows his versatility. He's a running back primarily, but that's the reason we have these guys in slots instead of like as a traditional tailback or things like that, they can get out in the routes really fast, and they're a receiving threat, and then get on the perimeter and help block too. So really big believer. See the offensive line getting out front, and again, you see the power of, Noah Key. He may be small in stature, but he delivers a punch, and he's a really strong kid for his size particular, and he's just, I think I had said this last week, but what you see on Friday nights from Noah Key is what you see every single day in practice. That guy practices hard, full speed, and that's why he plays like that on Friday nights. I'd say he and Drew Conway are two of the hardest practicing kids I've been around in a while. Another good, really solid hit on our coverage team. And, Decatur's running the same, the Gus, we call it, Gus Malzahn offense with sniffer back. And, Coach Adcock's big Auburn fan, and he visits with Auburn's coaching staff a lot. So nice throwing catch right there, taking advantage for, linebackers' drops are a little flat right there. And sometimes that's because of man coverage, but sometimes in zone, you tend to chase things that are moving away from you, just as natural human reaction. But that's one of the hardest things to coach linebackers to do, is to actually look for the inside receiver, the ones coming back to you, and you look at the closest receiver to you first when you're in your drop, and if he's going away from you, like toward the sideline, you got to get your eyes off of him and then look for an outside receiver coming towards you. And it sounds like an easy concept, but it's it's one of those things. It really takes repetition, and try to teach it. And Coach Hopper is one of the best I've seen at teaching that method of dropping off receivers. And our guys generally do a really, really good job of that.
14-0 into the first quarter. We're going to take our first break on the Bearcat Review. We'll come back with second quarter action after this.
Home. It's where you take your time. Build the future. Make your memories. Celebrate. Come home. Alpha Insurance.
For the best agents in the business, call Kathy Sims in Cullman.
Welcome back to the Bearcat Review. I am Wade Smith alongside head coach Oscar Glasscock, reviewing the Cullman-Decatur game from last Friday night. Cullman was victorious 21-10. Saw 14-0 in the end of the first quarter for Cullman. And, Coach, you brought it up a couple of times. Coach Hopper, how's he doing?
He's doing really well. He has come by the facility. He stopped by during our pregame before we got on the bus, and we do. On Fridays we do a little devotional. I usually get a different person of faith from around the community in general, and sometimes it's sort of a special guest that we had a former player, Ray Segura, came in. It was a Katrina refugee and transplant, and he came and spoke to the team. So we sort of change it up week to week and trying to expose these kids to especially different people of different denominations, different faiths, and things like that. And Coach Hopper was able to come by during that time, and he didn't give any kind of speech. I didn't really want that, but he just, just come in, just be around the kids, and they say he's doing fine. I mean, he's obviously not out of the woods. It takes about I think he told me today, about a 45-day period. I think he's got another evaluation in December, and at that point they can tell exactly what he needs to do to rehab and get back to normal life. So he came by practice today and watched some, and he's going to be able to help us and be involved in a very limited way, more with his mind, and like I said, it's just comforting to the kids and the coaches that he's just around, and so we can kind of, move on and play football, and not have that anxiety of worrying about him, and so it's been good, and I think it helped us play. It inspired us to play hard, play better, and be very appreciative of the time we have together, and be appreciative of hey man, there's a lot of teams that aren't playing out there. There's a lot of people that aren't having this chance, and obviously you put it all in perspective when you've been talking about a life and death situation. So we feel very fortunate.
Continue to keep thinking about him and his family through this time, and hopefully he'll be able to get better soon and get back out there. And we'll take your time, Coach, get better. But let's take a look at these second quarter highlights. Cullman up 14-0 as we do head into quarter number 2 up in Decatur. Cullman was able to get the victory, another region win for the team, and we'll go to the second quarter highlights now.
Beautiful field. They redid Ogle Stadium into a turf field, and man, what great job right there. Again, great pursuit. You see Brody Malcolm, Jalen Huey on that, but that's everybody's participating, and good to see, Brody Malcolm, he's getting closer and closer to full speed, and great position, and man, we had a chance to make numerous picks the other night, and told somebody, hey, that's why all those guys are on defense. You can tell. Man, they're just coached so well by Coach Walker, and they're in great position, and we just couldn't quite bring it down. We were so close, probably 7 or 8 times to having big interceptions, but the bottom line, they weren't catching them, so. Got Brody Malcolm back returning some now, and he's got such great ability there. It's just been limited by his little bit of that leg injury, and just been trying to protect him some. But now he's feeling a lot better, and we're trying to get him back involved in that. Little counter we had put in a couple of weeks ago, and just again, you just see the ability that Noah Key has. He's got really good speed, balance, vision, and he's just improved every game. It seems like he's improved as a runner. Hey, Coleman. We were just talking about you earlier. Run the rocket out here, and see Tyler Owens in there, man. It's good to get him out there. Tyler's a 10th grade running back, and he's working hard, getting better and better, and man, he's got a bright future there. Again, you see Jake Dillon just attacking the hole. That's what I like to see. Those running backs going north and south, seeing the cut and going, instead of, again, our offense is very precise in what we're doing. And great play by their defender, keeping Noah out of the end zone. And we're getting better and better at it. Good push because Lance LaRue and, Mason Richards had a great block on that. Twin brother Evan Richards beside him, and Blaine Dial, Carson Hill, Jeb Bartle, Caleb Heatherly, these guys working up front on the offensive line. And, so goes our offensive line, so goes our team, and that's one of the things I really wanted to, when I came here, is to really establish, sort of reestablish Cullman as a dominant type offensive line group. I think we have the kind of kids that year in and year out that can be physical and be, we've got really good size at Cullman for, compared, like I said, I coached at Hartselle for a while, and had coached against Cullman in some different situations. And so Hunter Brooks down there making a great play. Now, Hunter's another guy, a baseball guy, has really improved and got out there. But anyway, coaching against Cullman and even West Point to a certain extent, you really did realize how much bigger sometimes the kids are here. And, I have to believe it's that German influence, Germans are some big people, and I think it's definitely infiltrated the gene pool around here. So we should have good offensive linemen. There we go. Smart people too. Germans are big, smart people.
Need all those we can get.
It's a good combination for an offensive lineman.
That's right.
There you go. So it's really been hard for Decatur to get a first down. Again, our defense is just extremely multiple in the box and in the back end, and just a tribute to the coaching staff and Coach Fonder and Coach Walker, Coach Hopper, Coach Morris and just the time they spend and, kind of buying into, schemes I kind of wanted to run. And see good linebacker drops, and then they get their eyes back on the shooter, as we call it, I feel like we present a tremendous challenge to opposing offenses, and we play a lot of people, and I think that makes a big difference when we get into, you're going to have injuries, you're going to have sickness, you're going to have people miss, and when we get guys out here, man, what a great play by Drew Ball. He just, he had the running back in a man coverage, and he was covering him up like a blanket right there. And Drew's just a football player. He's our punter. He does so many things well, and he's just super smart, man, just works hard, great kid. And, he's one of those guys that makes people better. There you see Jaden Kay. We've meant this year to get Jaden, we've got a nice little package for him to run at quarterback. We've meant to get him in there more. We've had some injuries in the defensive backfield, and, he was banged up a little bit for a while, and it just, we probably hadn't used him as much as we wanted to, but, sort of the circumstances of the season dictate that, and he's such a valuable member of the special teams. But felt good about our depth in the secondary and, able to take some chances putting him back in at offense, and this is something we're going to continue to do. And like I said, he brings a little different skill set in there and can throw the ball effectively. You see Nick Glass and Isaiah Jones split out here, and Noah Key in the backfield. Just miss on the pass right there, and then so we get out and try a field goal, and things have been going our way. Feel like we've definitely dominated the game up to this point in all phases. And then this was our first snafu right here. We did a good job covering, realizing that is a live ball. It's dead on the extra point, but it's live there. And it was our mistake. We were short a guy. We had 10 men out there for one other reason. One of our linemen didn't get out there. And that's probably we were affected a little bit there by Coach Hopper not being there, because we normally have more eyes from the press box and from the sideline on our players, and we just had one that didn't get out there, and that's my fault. We got to make sure our guys understand the situations and know which special team they're on, but we were minus a set of eyes that normally help us make sure we got the right personnel there. And fortunately, that didn't turn into a score there, but they got some momentum after that block kick, and we're right toward the end of the half. Big 3rd and long right here, 3rd and 10. He ran some mesh routes, and got him 4th down here. So that was one mistake in the kicking game there, and take a chance, field it in traffic, that's fine, but we got to secure the ball better right here, and we turn it over, had a 3 and out, punt on 4th down, and then we don't protect the football, and this was our lone turnover for the night, and nobody's going to feel worse than that than Brody, and he apologized to me later. It's just part of the game, and again, he's been hurt and hadn't got as many reps out there with stuff, but football's like life. You can't dwell on successes. You can't dwell on failures. You got to keep rolling, and he's got to go right back out there and play, and that's kind of the way it is. As things may not go our way, in our professional career or family situation or things like that, but we got to get back up and put on those work boots and go back to work and provide for that family. And so it's that's in that sequence of plays, that's where the football kind of relates to life directly. You got to put it aside and get ready for that next day, that next play. So again, it's still they're trying to run the ball, really couldn't. It's been tough to run on our defense all year, and getting a situation right here. We got a big play. Knocked the pass down, but roughed the passer. And this close call wasn't a cheap shot. Just a little bit of a close call on that. It's kind of what we call an effort penalty. Nothing malicious about it. And unfortunately, it goes against us, an automatic 1st down. There's very few of those. got out of position a little bit on the inside route. And, you know, we're reeling just a little bit. You know, the penalties, the turnovers, and, you know, that's what's hurt us. We run an RPO game here. Got him in 3rd and long. You know, great job of, again, you know, Brody Malcolm had the fumble, and then he comes back and makes a super play on a really smart play on the defensive back. Not much time left in the half here, and you know, we feel like if we can hold them to a field goal here, it was after that turnover, we're going to feel pretty good about it. And you know, just less than a minute or so left in the half, and they kick an onside kick. You know, it was really close. It has to go 10 yards before they can touch it, and it was right on it. You know, they made a great play. It was a really good kick, and I think we were caught a little bit off guard about it. And take a chance on an out route right there, and they make a good throw and catch. And, you know, they got a little bit of momentum right now. And, you know, we're facing a little bit of adversity here. You know, the momentum has switched in the game. Doing a good job connecting on a couple of out routes. You know, we're trying not to give up the home run. You know, nothing easy. I'm just trying to get somebody to make a play. And then they do a really nice job executing in the passing game. I mean, they were making some throws and catches they hadn't been making all night. And got a young quarterback that's really maturing, and their receivers made some outstanding catches. And, you know, there they are right back in the football game. And like I said, got the momentum, really executed their throwing game, and just a great job on their part. Not necessarily a bad job on ours. It was just they really executed. And, you know, again, kind of a wake-up call for us as far as, you know, momentum changes. It doesn't matter what the situation in the game is. You've got to focus on the job you've got to get done. So, again, they try the same thing again. You know, this time we were successful in getting control of the kick. You know, we're going to get in our victory safe formation. We're not going to you know, we had to snap it one time and the clock's going to run out. And, hey, if your objective is to run the clock out, we're not going to hand it off or throw it and just try to pad the stat book or something. You know, if it's time to run out the clock, we're going to run out the clock. You know, I mean, that's the way it's going to be. I mean, because I never have understood that, you know, why people would, well, we're going to run a safe play or whatever. Well, if the objective is to run out the clock, you take a knee and let the clock run out. And, you know, that's what we do. I mean, I don't know, people get bored sometimes or they end up getting a little too cute and you can lose a football game.
Absolutely.
I think. Yeah. But that's just one man's opinion. You know, I'm sure we can get somebody else in here that's a lot more successful than I am.
Pretty good opinion over there.
Yeah, well, there's different views on it, but that's the way I think about it.
Wow. I'm with you on that. 21-10 at the end of the first half. We're going to take our next break. We'll come back, see the second half of action between Cullman and Decatur from last Friday night. This is the Bearcat Review.
Your first set of wheels didn't come with hassles. It can be that way again at Tire Pros.
Tire Pros offers a wide selection of Michelin tires. No matter what you drive or where you've driven, Michelin has a tire to fit any need.
Tire Pros. Hassle-free, guaranteed.
Johnny's Barbecue, family owned and operated since 1963. Dine in or carry out. Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. till 9 p.m. Stuffed potatoes, pork, ribs, chicken, catfish, and much, much more. Try our weekend wings and Brunswick stew. And don't forget Johnny's on the Road, catering and delivery. Mention you saw us on the Cullman High School Network. And go Bearcats!
Welcome back to the Bearcat Review. I am Wade Smith alongside head coach Oscar Glasscock. Talking about last Friday night's game between Cullman and Decatur. The Bearcats do get the victory 21-10. We saw the first half of action in the second quarter in this last segment. And you see Decatur put up 10 points at the end of the half. You have a couple of miscues here and there, a fumbled punt, blocked field goal. What is the talk when you go into the locker room when you see an end of the half like that to prepare a team for a third quarter?
Well, people are different on how they, how they act at halftime or pregame or things like that. And I had sort of a mentor coach when I was a young guy named S.C. Sullins that coached around the SEC as a defense coordinator, and he was the defense coordinator at East Mississippi over in Scuba. And now he was an intense coach during the week. I'd go over and watch practice. I was friends with his son John, and he was constantly teaching, constantly encouraging, constantly yelling, getting on guys, put a lot of pressure on them during the week. And he told me, he said it'd probably been, 2, maybe 3 times in his career had he ever just, ranting and raving and all that kind of stuff at halftime, and that's where I kind of started understanding my own personality in coaching. And, you prepare a team during the week, and that's where the intense part comes to it. And if you're waiting till Friday night to provide all the intensity and the emotion and getting their attention and things like that, then you're probably not doing that much during the week. It's just the way I look at it. That being said, the thing that I had on my mind more than anything else, and was just the fact that we were playing hard. We were celebrating our teammates' success more than our own. We were having fun, and Decatur made some plays. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt they executed on the onside kick. They made some great throws and catches. And I didn't feel like it was an effort issue. I didn't feel like it was a scheme issue. It's just they made some plays. You're going to have adversity in a game. That's a well-coached football team with a lot of tradition. And that's kind of what I told them at halftime. I said, let's make sure there's nothing big that we just have to fix. We just got to make some plays and just do our thing and, reestablish ourselves on both sides of the ball coming out. So I was happy about the way the guys were enjoying playing, and they were playing together and those type things. And that was really foremost on my mind, other than hitting a panic button because you had the momentum. And now there's a time to do it. I understand that, but I didn't have any feeling that we weren't playing hard and trying as hard as we could and playing as a team. And saw a lot of good sportsmanship in that first half, and situations where guys could have retaliated, said things maybe they had the week before, they weren't. And, to me, if you're taking care of those little things, the success, the wins are going to come. And, that's what happened in the second half. So there's definitely no panic from our coaching staff or anybody in the locker room.
It's a good thing to see because it tells you they learned from last week.
I agree, and that's what I focused on. As far as what I saw in that first half, we came out, we were ready to play. Decatur made some plays there at the end, got some momentum. That's football. So, got another half to play. Let's come out and do our thing.
Absolutely.
And keep playing.
And let's see that second half. We'll go to third quarter action now. Cullman at Decatur last Friday night, leading 21-10 going into the second half of play. And now let's see those highlights of the third quarter.
So anyway, Decatur had won the toss and deferred, and so we're going to kick the ball off here and be on defense. So again, we've got a chance to get out there and make sure that momentum doesn't continue through the second half. The game just had a completely different feel than it had the week before. We felt like we were playing hard and in control of it, and there was nothing about how things changed there to change our minds. So Decatur tries to come out, and they got extra linemen in there, and they're going to try to establish the line of scrimmage again. They really haven't blocked very effectively up front against our front, just because I think we're a little bit better than they are on the O-line as far as our D-line matchup, and so their best chance is going to be to throw the football. And, we're a little relentless on our pass rush, and guy comes off his read fast, and what a great roll tackle there again, Drew Ball. And so we get a 3 and out. So, I guess it was the right, our halftime was just right. We need to get up and field that ball right there, which kind of saves some field position. So Decatur came out, one thing I'd say in the second half, and they really took it to our offensive line. And we had difficulty moving the football. But, again, when you're up 21-10, we've got a cushion there, and, we're not going to do things to lose the game when we're playing with the lead and with the way our defense is playing in general. Did a good job covering our receivers there. Max going to protect the football and didn't really have a chance to throw it away necessarily. And great outcut right there. You see Nick Glass, and man, that's a great throw and catch on third down. So, again, really, really pleased with where our passing game, how it's progressed this year, and kind of year or two of a sort of establishing this kind of offense. Run the rocket, trying to, stretching the defense to the perimeter. Try a little lead play right there. And again, when you see the Decatur players with a lower pad level and all down around the ground, where the ball carrier is, and our offensive linemen are all standing up, it's not a good sign. So got a holding call here. So we, able to get a first down, run a little bit of clock, and we're happy we're gonna punt it. As long as your drive ends with a kick, we feel like we're in pretty good shape. Adjusted a couple things protection-wise, do a better job protecting the punter. Gonna try to return, just see the Cody Lynn getting down there, run as fast as he can, Griffin Barksdale. And again, these guys are our defensive starters, and they're on our punt team. And, we pepper in some seniors and things like that too. Good to see Matt Brock back out there. Matt's had some injuries right here and just had a great start to the season, and he's just now getting healthy again. And here we go, get a turnover, and, finally getting some fumbles to go our way. Been able to recover a few. And, again, our defense just sort of reasserted itself as being dominant. Boy, Seeger's such a great block by Drew Conway out there. I mean, that guy, he just works so hard within the game and during the practice. And, he got a little banged up in the game, may miss a game or two, but we got whipped up front right there. I mean, that's just bottom line. Our offensive line got knocked into the backfield, and that's just, there's no excuse for that. That's just we'll get those type of things fixed. Again, you see Drew Conway out there just, blocking his tail off, and we got to just, main thing, especially offensive line-wise, we got to build consistency. We're still working on that. We've got a lot of new starters up there, and I've got two of the best out there with Heath Saint and David Hanna working with these guys, and it's consistency is one of those things you hear over and over and over. You talk to football coaches and things like that, and, trying to build that consistency and having the same effort every single play, doing your job every single play. Boy, just miss on the river. That might go, that might have gone 70 yards right there. We just guy backside just clipped Jake's heel, so it was open. So. Old Drew Ball, one thing about Drew, he can get the roll. He's got to be one of the leading punters as far as average, and had very few returned. And he's just a gamer. He's what we talked about. Great job. Everything's covered up. Quarterback's got to throw it away. Their quarterbacks did a super job protecting the football like ours do. Again, great tackle by Drew Ball, kind of making up. We kind of lost the perimeter real quick, but we run the ball and run at smart angles and things like that. Again, we're not going to give that home run up. We're going to make people have to snap it, 15 times the score, and that's hard to do. Again, I just want to compliment, Coach Walker's, taking over sort of the play calling on the defensive side with Coach Hopper's absence, and sort of, being in charge, getting the game plan ready, doing the script during the week. It's very time consuming. You have to do a lot of thinking over the weekend and into the week about your call sheet and things you want in different scenarios. And I think he's just done an outstanding job of kind of taking the reins there. But he's got a lot of good help. Coach Morris is extremely valuable as far as the run defensive game. And, you know, Coach Fonner's just such a great, you know, those guys work together so well, you know, and it's been really, really smooth. And like I said, I kind of got in there and got involved. I was just messing everything up, you know, because I got my own way kind of doing things. And it's, you know, like I said, it's kind of my scheme that I wanted to run here and help put it in. But, you know, I'm you know, it's head coaching 6A level and things like that. It's a big job, you know. It's a player management, it's a coach management, it's a everything management, and I really applaud the guys that can, you know, coordinate one side of the ball or the other and be the head coach. I mean, I don't feel like I can do it, and it's just like there's just so many things that are on the field related that come up that you got to handle, and a lot of player management, practice management during the course of one. It seems like a full-time job for me, but you know, I'm no young chicken either, man. I mean, that's probably got more to do with it than anything, Wade. You know, young guy like you probably handle wearing a couple of different hats. You know, I get one hat on. That's about all I can handle.
Every day it gets harder,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you
wait. Doesn't get any better, does it, John?
Oh, goodness. 21-10 into the third quarter. We're going to come back after the next break, see our fourth quarter of action between Cullman and Decatur from last Friday night. We'll be right back after this on the Bearcat Review.
For more than 26 years, we've been providing friendly personal banking services for the citizens of Cullman and surrounding counties. We continue to provide new and improved services to our customers, and we even have a new look. So come by and see us at any of our 9 convenient locations. And don't forget, we're open on Saturdays.
Welcome back to the Bearcat Review. I am Wade Smith alongside head coach Oscar Glasscock. Breaking down the Cullman-Decatur game from last Friday night. Cullman was victorious in region action, 21-10. And let's move ahead to what would have been this week. 2020 is not crazy enough. Let's throw in a hurricane to mess up some schedules for most teams around North Alabama, some around the state. But Cullman moving their game till later in the season.
Yeah, another hurricane.
Yeah.
There's been several, obviously, this year. Kind of a unique situation. You know, scheduled to play Columbia, another Region 8 team, and I know the coach fairly well, and we had a very, very, you know, classy football game with them last year. You know, Columbia is a team that has struggled. You know, hadn't gotten a lot of support, honestly, from administration, school leaders there, and they have a really big district. As far as when I say big, there's some kids that live about 17 miles from the school, and they're on Huntsville City Schools are on fall break this week, and so 100% of their kids ride the bus to school, and they obviously stay for practice, and it's just really been impossible this week to get those kids to practice because they don't have a ride, and it's just a different situation completely from this community. And you know, another reason to be very grateful to be here. And you got, you know, the community and parents and families and school leaders and things like that care a lot about the kids, and we don't have the same situation they're dealing with. And so we both had an open week during week 10. And so there's nothing COVID related. It was just a matter of, you know, they were going to have to forfeit the game if we played this week because Coach Wells didn't have enough kids at practice to, you know, do it right. And they didn't want to just come down here without practicing. And, you know, he's trying to build something for the future there. And I applaud him for being in a tough situation, trying to do the best he can. And so, you know, we need another home gate. I mean, honestly, it's been a tough year financially, you know, because of, you know, restricted, you know, stadium capacities and people traveling and people are, they're having to buy tickets online and things like that. And it's just been everywhere, everybody's struggling with their gate, and they're not making the same money. So we want to get that gate in. So we didn't want it just a forfeit. And we had that open week. And, he's got some kids he feels like might have a chance to play some college. They need some more film and game experience. And he wants to keep building for the future. And he wants to play the game, and we do too. So both had an open week, and we worked it out. And so, we ended up having an off week after, we had practiced Monday in preparation for them. And by the time we agreed to changing the game, we were, it was Tuesday before practice. And so anyway, I told the kids, and, we still went out, practiced full pads, had a good lift, pretty hard, heated up, had a good, a hard practice. It was pretty solid, and then, came back today and really practiced well. I thought the kids showed up and really were excited about being here, working to get better. And I'm going to tell you, and I told them after practice today, I was like, man, I don't take this stuff for granted because, you have a change. You go from preparing for an opponent to not having a game. And that takes the wind out of your sails preparation-wise. A lot of times you have to really modify your practice or you're going to run into a lot of issues. And our kids right here, they are very motivated, to play out the rest of this season. And I was just extremely impressed with them, proud of them, the way we practiced today and our mindset coming in, to get better. And we're going to give them some time off to heal up. And like we're banged up like everybody else, and we're going to come back in tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, and do a light practice in shorts and give them off completely on Friday and have a good 3-day weekend to rest up and things like that because we got two heavy hitters, two killers, back to back, and we've still got a chance to be Region 8 champions. We haven't been beat in the region, and one of our opponents hasn't either, and another one's got one loss to that particular team. So any of these three teams that are playing each other these next couple of weeks can be region champions. There could be a 3-way tie. One could be the solo champion, and there's a lot of scenarios that are out there. But we do, as you hear, cliche, control our own destiny. And so that's an exciting place to be, and our kids are practicing like that.
That's true. And 2 weeks from Friday, Athens. I mean, that's going to be
a week from this coming Friday.
Or,
we travel to Athens, and so that's our next opponent, and they're outstanding football team in every way possible, and really surprising loss to Muscle Shoals. They didn't play particularly well. Muscle Shoals is a fine football team, obviously, who's dominated the region. I mean, just nobody's even a close second, and Athens certainly had their chance to win that football game. And really, man for man, are a more talented team than Muscle Shoals. And so there, we got, you want to say our work's cut out for us. I mean, that's probably a tremendous understatement. Fantastic, Cody Gross, one of the top coaches in North Alabama especially, and really respect the job he's done there. And Cullman Athens have a long, long history. You talk about, you kind of look into this, going into the season, you've got, Jasper, Hartselle, Decatur, and Athens as far as being those old kind of TVC rivals, old school rivals that have Cullman's played and competed with and over the years. And, we've beaten 3 of those teams, and this is, you got the best one as far as this year, 2020 coming, waiting for us up there, and it's going to take everything we've got, mentally, physically, and spiritually to even have a chance in this game. But we're going to give it a shot.
Going to be a fight. Make sure you head up and support the Bearcats up in Athens a week from Friday night. Still have 1 quarter left to go in this one, though. Cullman Decatur from last Friday. Cullman was victorious 21-10, but let's take a look at 4th quarter action here.
So, again, they're doing a nice job with their man coverage. See Sam Brand, making a fine play. Sam's one of those guys, again, he's there every day. He works as hard as he can work and has just gotten so much out of his ability. He's got stronger. He plays smarter. He plays with more confidence. And, his dad was a great player here and real important for him to have a great senior year, and he's doing that. And he's one of those guys that just seems to just really, really enjoy it. And, his coaches enjoy it more when you have guys like him that are out there every day, and he's always got a smile on his face, and he's just super coachable, and I just can't be more proud of the kind of season Sam's having. And again, see Nick Glass, what a great throw and catch. Again, great concept Coach Gleaton's helped us put in on, when I was running the defense of Mountain Brook, they actually called that route the Cullman Smash, and it was because they had played a 2-game series years ago, and they had no answer for that route combination right there, and so I was excited about seeing that back in the offense here, because we worked against it when I was actually at Mountain Brook. Even though other people didn't run it, they were still fearing that route 10 years later. So again, great throw underneath right there, and just the brothers Doolin. Just super job. Great adjustment on the, getting a little. Decatur sending 2 guys off the edge, and we got a little bit different set to give us an extra blocker over there on that twin receiver side, and great adjustment on that. Again, seeing Drew Conway on that edge is knocking his guy to the ground. Like I said, Drew suffered a little slight knee injury in the game, and he'll be back with us eventually, but he's again 3rd down, and good safe call there, gives ourselves a chance. And like I said, our passing game has really become more and more effective this year, and just Coach Campbell works hard with those receivers, and he's got a couple of good ones out there with Nick Glass and Isaiah Jones, and Coach Campbell, he can still throw the football. He's got to get down there somewhere. We're down there working on run plays with those other quarterbacks. Sometimes he's got to get that arm loosened up, and he can still sling it. I'm going to tell you what, he's pretty impressive. Kind of reminds me of that, you ever seen that movie Necessary Roughness?
Oh, yeah.
It reminds me a lot of that quarterback that comes back to play college when he's 40 years old.
You got any eligibility left?
Yeah, I think he was hurt one year at Bethel. He may, Coach Campbell played for the Birmingham Steel Dogs.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, a lot of people remember the Steel Dogs right there, but he was in the media guide, and Coach Humphrey said he had a really good touch pass, and he still does. I never seen anything like it.
Birmingham with a rich history of defunct football teams.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. You can see Noah Key right here making people miss, and again, we're playing conservative and things like that. We're playing with the lead. Defense is shutting it down, and running a little double lead right there. And Jalen had tweaked his knee a little bit. Drew Conway, and just the object's to win the game, not pad the stat books, and that's what we're going to do around here. Nice cut by Jake, and puts the shoulders down. And man, I was really impressed. We'd struggled a little bit up front, and moving the ball in the run game, and we kind of put this drive together, and this is really what sealed the game right here. And that's as a coach, that's what you're looking for. It maybe hadn't been our night, especially in the second half offensively, but defense has played well, shored up things in our special teams, and here we are getting a few first downs, running the clock, and really just kind of take the life out of them as far as thinking they had any kind of chance left to win the game. And again, super proud of our offensive line and things like that, just being able to flip the field position, and again, put Jaden back in here to be kind of safe call, get him, maybe he can break a tackle and get that first down. And we're going to try to draw them all sides here, and got some timeouts to spare a little bit, and we'll make sure we got everything set up punt-wise. And we sort of rushed the punt team on last second, which prevents them from, being able to line a block team up there effectively, because they're not sure if we're going to go for it or not. Again, trying to hit a home run, just great position by Jaden Kay, and their receiver has to end up being a defender. Again, see Sam Brand and Drew Ball hustling the football, and linebackers, people getting in the picture, and like I said, we work very hard on pursuit and making sure that our guys, if they can't run to the ball, it's tremendous effort, and they're not going to find a spot on defense. just great rush angles right here, and just it's just a great job of redirecting when you see the quarterback. And again, Coach Marsh does a great job of teaching pursuit angles, out of your defensive line and your rush team. Again, they kept throwing over there at Sam's way here toward the end, and he was just so solid. And I thought that's kind of where their matchup was. Again, check down, and you just see the strength Drew Ball. He's got a great hang clean. It's improving. Bench press squad guy's really strong in the weight room, and that's where you sort of see it. See Dylan Sessions back there. Dylan's a guy again that hadn't played in a while and came back this year and has really had a great junior season, and we expect big things from Dylan. He's just a great kid, amongst many out here. Trying to throw the home run, and told old Dylan that's why he's on defense right there. They'd love to have that one back, and they're just in great position, but they're not catching it. And go forward on the fourth down right here. They don't have any timeouts left. All we got to do is take a kneel and run out the clock, and we're not going to do anything to try to score or, again, pad the stat books. All we got to do is snap it, take a knee, and this game's over, and that's what we're going to do. And just a great, very, very I felt like this was a game full of sportsmanship. Both teams played with a lot of class. They played hard. Again, in this football in the time of COVID is, you don't shake hands afterwards, but, talked with Coach Adcock for a little while after the game and visited with him more Monday night during the JV game. He's very complimentary of the way our kids played, same from me. It was kind of a gushing contest, I guess, but he's just a coach I just have really admired over the years, and he's always done it the right way, and the kids are always physical and play hard, extremely well coached, and play a lot of pride and tradition up there, and trying to bring some of those things that I've learned from coaching against him, and he and Coach Godsey that I worked for Coach Godsey at Hartsville, and they had worked together a long time for Philip Rivers' dad Steve at Decatur, and so I really feel like a lot of those things have sort of been handed down, second generation wise from Steve Rivers to me, if I ever meet Philip Rivers again, I'll make sure to let him know what a big influence indirectly his dad had on my style of coaching and how I go about running a program. And so I just have a whole lot of respect for the Decatur program, Coach Rivers, Coach Adcock, and Coach guys that had worked there before. And, but what a great night for the black and gold. I mean, it was, and, afterwards, getting that 600th win, we're one of 24 teams in this state. You think about it, we're in the top 25 all time in this state for total wins for a football program. And you're talking about a lot of great programs that have got a lot of wins like Aniana and T.R. Miller and Fayette County. And, you think of all these great teams, Vestavia, Lee of Montgomery, and here we are in the top 25 all time. And I just think that speaks volumes about the style of football and the winning tradition here. And I think the kids are very respectful of it. We took a couple pictures on the field afterwards, and they were really excited about being part of that history. And, that ties them together with, great teams, great players, great coaches, great administrators from the past to future generations of players and coaches and administrators and people in the community. But, most importantly, it ties them even more closely with each other, this team, and this, everybody's like, well, I can't wait for 2020 to be over and things like that. And I've made jokes about having a big New Year's Eve party, but I'm not ready for this season to end, because it's just been a great joy to watch these kids compete and to play and enjoy it, make the most of it. Again, like today with practice, roll with the changes. And I think it's going to serve them well in their life, that they know they've been a part of something where they had to adapt, overcome, not being a routine necessarily, but still do their best, pull together, make the most of it, have fun, and build memories. And, again, I think it'll serve them well on down the road. But, for right now, we just want to enjoy being with each other and play hard, compete, and keep everything in perspective. And so, that's where I'm at right now.
Great. It's a good place to be.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. But
6-1 on the season, 3
Yeah.
more region matchups left to go. Next one, a big one in a week from Friday night up at Athens.
yeah, no doubt. And like I said, we mentioned Athens, and they're just they're throwing the ball well. They had a running back that ran it, I think, 52 times against Hartselle, and they completely dominated Hartselle. Hartselle was never in the game. And they're just an outstanding football team that's playing well right now. And they're certainly a contender for the state championship. Like I said, Cody Gross is an outstanding coach and an even better person. And, those kids play with a lot of class, play hard, and like what we're trying to do here. And I think it's two programs that have a lot of respect for each other, a long history. And, really for us to even have a chance in this game, we're going to have to, we're going to have to execute as well as we can and play hard and play smart and, just go up there and hope we get a few breaks, get some things going our way, because it's going to take everything we can just to even be competitive in this game. And, hey, that's fine. That's, we're getting a chance to play football. And, like I said, I wouldn't care if it was the, Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. Just get a chance to play this great game of football with this group of kids. It's just exciting in itself. But, make no mistake about it. They want to win the region championship, and they want to go up there. And, we didn't play particularly well last year up at Athens and had hit a tough stretch of our season, had a lot of injuries. And we're hoping we can go up there and be at our best and just give it a shot. And we'll see how it goes. And then turn around and get ready for another outstanding opponent the next week. So
That's true.
Just happy to be playing, Wade.
Next one's the big one, and that's what we'll see a week from Friday night. Be sure to head up to Athens to support the Bearcats, bring that mask, be ready to social distance in this world of COVID. But the Cats are 6-1 after a victory over Decatur 21-10 last Friday night. We appreciate you tuning in to the Bearcat Review this week. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.